Are you actually connecting to the food that you're eating? And do you know why you eat the way that you eat? I think these are really interesting questions to ask yourself, because if it is getting in the way from you having the life you want to live, or it's becoming a crutch of some kind, it's worth evaluating.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lisa Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to discuss the liberating convo I had with Lisa Salisbury in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that interview, you should listen to it at some point because it's so good. Before, during, after, go back and forth between the two. You do you. There's like different ways of doing everything. This is episode 503.
503.
And we just said a big thank you before we hit record with you guys to our amazing production team, because we've had the same producers this whole time. There's podcasts I listen to, people that I really admire, and every other year they're with another company. And I'm like, you know what? Why are you with so many different companies? What?
Yeah, that's weird.
Now, if it's because I read that you scored $170 million, you do you. Okay. No jealousy, no judgment, no curious. I see it. Not announcing. If they're not paying you to be there, why are you switching? What's going on? Anyways, just wire your minds. Today is March 27th, 2025, and it is Scribble Day. Yep, Scribble Day is observed on March 27th annually, and it's all about celebrating the creativity and the art associated with scribbling, which anyone can do regardless of their artistic abilities. So the last time you scribbled aimlessly to relieve boredom, you might have probably not known that there's actually a day to celebrate the stress-releasing act of scribbling.
Yes. Our production team is going to go, Brad, why did you adjust Lesley's microphone while she was talking? So that was my fault. And I don't think they're going to be able to edit it out.
No.
So
and guess
100%
what?
they won't.
I just didn't want it. I didn't want to stop. I hadn't made
you
a
were
mistake.
On a roll.
I hadn't made a mistake on any of the sentences, and I wanted to keep going.
Well, you nailed it. You slayed that.
But also, I really appreciate that they mentioned that it's regardless of your artistic abilities, because I often am disappointed
Scribble
in
Day.
Here's the
We're
thing.
back to
This is
Scribble Day.
the recovering perfectionist in me, who is letting it go that you put your hand in front of the camera to fix my mic. I don't think my scribbling is good.
But it's a scribble. It's not supposed to be
I know, but
good.
I want it to look pretty. There are people who
scribbling is pretty?
No, but people can draw really pretty hearts and stuff. My hearts are I just look like a 7-year-old still scribbles.
Fortunately, there's a day for that.
There's a day for it, and
actually,
there's no, because it's relieving boredom, and I think it's great. So, anyways, also, if you are bored in today's day and age, we want to hear you on the Be It Pod, because we need all your tips.
No, okay. I think it just means that they don't have a smartphone.
Not online. They're not on a smartphone.
They don't have a smartphone.
Yeah. Okay. They don't have their friends literally.
They don't have the easiest to distract yourself device in the history of our world.
On a podcast I listened to, they talk about apparently your phone can tell you how many times you pick up your phone.
Oh, yeah.
This one guy, he picked it up 273 times in a day. 273 times in a day. How many minutes are in a day?
All right, so we're going to figure this out literally right now. So we're going to go right now.
Okay.
Go to settings, go to screen time. So just search for screen time. If y'all want to join us on this, if you have an iPhone, go to your settings and go to screen time. You're going to look at...
Today, I've only had 67 pickups. Oh, I went...
See all app and website activity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
then go to day.
Yeah, pickups. Yesterday, I only did 109.
Oh, mine is 109 also. What the? Mine's today, though.
Okay, but mine's today, I've only had 67.
Oh, yeah, yesterday I did 136.
Okay, so here's the deal. I think that's a lot. I don't know. But if there's 24 hours in a day, not that we only pick it up once in an hour, but kind of maybe we should try to get under 100. Let's try. Next time we get to a topic that has to do with boredom, we'll let you know. We'll update you. Anyways.
All right, my screen time yesterday was almost 10 hours.
Yeah, but we can't judge. We were on a plane, you guys, playing video games for 15 hours. So I don't think that
that is true.
But okay, anyways, just going back to the boredom thing. So figure it out, because I actually heard one host was like, I have 88, and he was surprised by 88. And to me, like 60, because we work on our phones. I don't think it should actually be
It
nothing.
is true. It's a little hard when I'm like on an hour-long Zoom call on my phone.
Yeah, so, but maybe we could figure out a day off. Maybe we should find a day off's average and then take our weekday average and try to get it just a little bit more than a day off average. Okay.
We'll see.
That has nothing to do with today's guest or Scribble Day. Hey, we're back from POT, Denver, and about to kick off our annual Elevate retreat. You guys, oh my God, it's like literally in 3 days. They're like coming here soon. I'm so excited. I have so many prizes for them. We have a special guest for them. I can't even wait. So anyways, I'm stoked to see them. We have 17 Elevate grads coming. If you want to come to an Elevate retreat, you have to be an elevator. If you want to know how to be an elevator, you need to go to lesleylogan.co/elevate. Okay. Brad's not happy with the mic still. I'm talking right at it. I don't know what else to do. Okay. Also, you guys, coming up very soon in April, we're going to be announcing our second mullet tour. It's that UK tour we did where we do business in the morning and Pilates in the evening.
It's business in the front.
Yeah.
Pilates in the back.
Yeah.
That's why it's
the mullet tour.
That's
and we're doing 2 cities for this tour, and it's going to be this fall. So you want to go to opc.me/UK to be on the wait list, because those on the wait list are going to get invited to the early bird. And you know what? It could sell it on early bird. So you want to go to opc.me/UK to get on the wait list so you get the early bird special.
Spots are definitely going to be limited because we're, doing
studios
it in some studios.
It's when we do our pop-ups. It's like they're just small spaces, and we're only doing 2 days, I think. 1 day in each city. I'm pretty sure it's almost
2 days in each city. Pretty sure.
I don't know. I feel like it's a tight squeeze. Just get on the wait list and you'll find out. If you're in Europe, you should come. Just fly over.
Go to opc.me/UK for anyone, anywhere. Coming up at the end of April, we've got our spring training. This is the first time we've ever done this before, and we're focusing on, drum roll please, the Pilates push-up.
The Pilates push-up. So if you hate them, this is for you. If you love them, this is for you. We're going to have 10 classes over the course of 1 week, all to help you get the most out of your push-ups, either to make them more accessible or more possible, or help you realize like how freaking strong you already are. Don't worry if you don't have equipment. We have a mat ticket as well. So go to opc.me/events, because that's going to get you on the wait list, and those on the wait list are going to be invited early, and those invited early are going to get a better price than those who are not on the wait list. So if you're an OPC member, you get the best price. It's called free. So
if you want it for free, join OPC.
Yeah.
If you want it for free, join OPC.
Yeah. Okay, but that's going to be in April, and it will end on International Pilates Day weekend, which we're very excited about.
Yeah, go to opc.me/events. And then if you are a Pilates business owner and are taking clients in any way, shape, or form, whether that's in the park or at your house, in a studio, and you're booking and taking payments from your clients, I want you to join me on the next upcoming Studio Growth Accelerator. And what we're going to do is talk about the 3 massive secrets that Lesley and I have figured out after coaching more than 2,500 businesses, just like yours, on all the things over the past 7+ years now. We boiled it down to 3 major things that you need to understand in order to grow your income as a business owner. It's totally free. I want you to join me by going to profit.biz/accelerator. That is profit without the O, .biz/accelerator. You'll find out when the next webinar is, and come join me. Finally,
well, we just, like when we're recording this, we're literally 24 hours back from Cambodia, but we want to invite you to the next time we're going to Cambodia for our Pilates retreat there. We have classes, we have breathwork workshops, we have workshops that can help you love your life and have a lot of fun. We go on temple tours. We have the most amazing schedule. I'm just going to say, literally, during the retreat, multiple times, multiple people said, I just really love the schedule of this retreat. It's so nice.
Yeah, the flow of the events.
The flow of it. It is.
If you've ever been on a retreat and they had events lined up from 6 a.m. till like midnight, and you're just completely fried, and the things were good, but it was just too much, we don't do that.
Yeah, no.
If you've been to other retreats where they're like, we're so happy that you're here, you've got an entire day to yourself. Yeah, we don't do that either. It's a great balance, right in the middle.
Like the literal most perfect schedule.
Yeah, we've done like a dozen of these. Yeah. So it's been a lot of making adjustments. And in fact, every single time we do a retreat, we evaluate it and we say, did we do it the way we liked it? How did it go? And we're at the point now, y'all, where literally we have the timeline of events completely dialed in. And what we just did 3 days ago was we sat down with Peach, who is part of our group over there, and she is part of the team that helps take care of us. And we said, hey, we want to rearrange the temple tour visits and see if we can't add in yet another temple in there. And we figured out a way to do it. So we're really excited. It's a temple that Lesley and I haven't even visited yet. It's exciting. So
yeah, it's really, really cool. And so we want you to come. And I have had so many people say, the next one. I've told someone, I'm like, you said the next one 3 times. I know I have so many things coming up. Just want you to know something's always going to come up. There's going to be fires all the time. So go to crowsnestretreats.com because we want you to come on this next one, which is in October. And I'm telling you, we had 2 people sign up very last minute. We had someone who signed up 5 months in advance, which I guess is not last minute. We had someone sign up 2 months in advance. So you can sign up. And we've also had people, most of them are people with children.
Yep.
Who've come on their own.
Yep.
Because they deserve a week where we fill their cup for them. So come to crowsnestretreats.com to snag your spot.
Yes.
All right. We have so much to talk about, Lisa, but we have an audience question to answer.
We do. Ashley Crosby from Instagram says, hi, Lesley. I'm back with another DIY question. Do you have any good recommendations on a DIY video to make a ladder barrel rung cover? I've been taught to use a blue knee pad to support our feet, but I have tiny feet and the pad makes me feel less secure. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah. So in this question, afterwards, they sent me a bunch of other information about why this blue knee pad situation is happening. So first of all, if you are a Pilates person and you've used a ladder barrel before, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about on the ladder barrel, there are rungs on the ladder and you have to put your feet on these rungs. And a lot of people are taught to hook their feet on the rung. So if like you're watching on YouTube, it's like that hard flex, kind of like what you do at the gym to like stick your feet underneath a bar to kind of hook in to do sit-ups because your feet keep coming off the ground. That's kind of what we're talking about here. That being said, that's not actually how you're supposed to do your feet. You're supposed to.
Oh, for Pilates ladder barrel, you're not supposed to hook your feet.
No, you shouldn't hook your feet.
Sorry. So I don't know. I didn't even understand where this blue knee pad would go. It's supposed to go between your foot and the foot bars to protect your foot.
Yeah, so your foot's not pulling up against like wood.
Oh,
so the pad's there.
So you're not even supposed to hook your feet. So this entire purpose of this blue knee pad is irrelevant.
Yes, but they're doing it because they think that hooking the foot is safe. And then people complained about the wood hurting their feet. So they're like, let's put a pad here.
And then it's still unsafe.
Well, it's not, and it's unsafe for this person, but also it's not helping you get the connections you need. So when you're doing short box on the ladder barrel, which is when this would happen, you're actually supposed to stand on the feet. So you want to put your feet on not the top rung, but the second rung, or you can even go lower. This is in my flashcards. This is in all my tutorials. It's free. Put the arch of your feet on there like you're doing bird on a perch during footwork. And then you push, not so much that you're straightened, but kind of like if you were like doing a wall squat, you know how like you like are pushing into the floor, but you're stuck in a wall squat. You want to push into them so that your butt turns on. And if you hook with your feet, it's really hard to get your butt to turn on. And then it's unfortunately going to help turn on your hip flexors when you're coming up and down versus keeping your butt on. So Ashley, here's the deal. If you have to do these things because it's rules of a studio, pay attention to the rules. But if you have the ability to do it the way that it's meant to be done, then your tiny feet are not an issue because whatever part of your arch can go on the bar is what you need. It's all you need.
It's all you need.
And if you want to go to onlinepilatesclasses.com/ladder barrel exercises.
No, it's /ladder-barrel-exercises.
Correct. I was going to say, with a hyphen in between all the words.
Yeah. onlinepilatesclasses.com/ladder-barrel-exercises.
Yeah. You can see all of our exercises. You'll see how my foot setup is. And no, you don't need to buy a rung cover.
They're all the videos that you would need. They're all the DIY videos. Mm-hmm. Well, they're not DIY videos for making a ladder barrel rung cover because you don't need a ladder barrel rung cover at all.
Some people have created one that is made out of like a sheep's skin or sheep fur, whatever, because that's like antibacterial. Antimicrobial, whatever. At any rate, some people have made this. I find that they're quite slippery. And again, you don't need it. Why are we buying things we don't need when you could just use your muscles? So full permission to use your muscles. Brad is trying to look up different things. You guys, they're like legit. Really so they're just
$50 for a little piece of cloth that wraps around your barrel.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you could get? The cover that I use to do back squats. The cover that I use to do back squats, I bet would work. I bet it would fit because it's Velcro.
Oh, sure.
And that was like $12 or $25 online. So I guess if you were like, Lesley, I'm adamant, I have to hook my feet. You don't know what you're talking about. Then you can do that. You could probably use a back squat rung cover. Anyways, there's just so many different changes that people have made to the practice. And it's not about classical versus contemporary. It's just like people changing exercises because someone complained about things. And it's like, maybe you're not doing it right, or you might not be ready for it yet. And that's a different story. So hopefully this saved you money on a pad you don't need. Send your questions in and we'll answer them.
All right, stick around. We're going to be talking about Lisa Salisbury and her tips on food and how we treat food in our lives. Okay, welcome back. Now let's talk about Lisa Salisbury. Lisa is a certified health, life, and weight loss coach, holds a BS in health and human performance, and is the host of the podcast Eat Well, Think Well, and Live Well. Lisa's passionate about helping people build a healthier relationship with food and regaining control of their eating habits. Whether weight loss is the goal or not, she focuses on self-awareness and creating sustainable strategies to foster a sense of balance and well-being.
Yeah, I thought she was very fascinating. There's so many different ways that you can address this topic. And I just really appreciated her like enthusiasm and love and kindness and grace around it. And she said, food is connection. It always has been. Even in our hunter-gatherer days, they ate together. For her, every meal should be enjoyable and delicious, not just thought of as fuel. And I kind of like this because a lot of times the way to break your emotional connection to food is to go, food is fuel. Food is fuel. And it's not your comfort food. But for her, she was like, no. I mean, it's fuel, but every meal should be delicious and it should be enjoyable. And something, since we just got back from Cambodia, that this makes me think about is we set the table for every meal, right? In Cambodia, we put placemats out and we put the silverware out and we put napkins out, and every meal had colorful fruit and we had this beautiful ambiance. It's really interesting how on a retreat, every meal was kind of an event. And of course the food was delicious and we all ate together, and like we sat there and we ate together, we talked.
That's true.
And like we have an hour for food because we take a good half an hour because we're just all chit-chatting and like talking about things and getting to know each other more, and no one's on their phones because we're all eating a meal together, right? And so she emphasized that value of family traditions to create meaningful mealtime moments. Meaningful mealtime moments.
The triple M threat.
Yeah. She sets a table properly, and you sit at the dining room table, and she believes that the act of eating together is more important than what we're eating. And I thought that's so cool because we've had different guests on before who are like, do you ever just sit and eat your meal? Or are you like on your phone while you're eating your meal? And one of the things that I think is causing people to overeat or be hungry all day long is that they're actually not eating the food that they're eating when they're eating it. They're kind of just doing other things and they're not paying attention to it. But there's something about we slow down, we chew our food, we like taste the food when we're having a meal with people, and it creates connection. And I think a lot of people are just missing connection these days.
Yeah.
And I think you could do this even if you're single. You can also, oh my God, for my single people, here's what you can do. You can set a place for two, because the other place could be literally you creating space for a partner, and you could be going through the act of taking the time to put a placement out for that, and like whatever you want to do, but like you could do that, and then you could sit there and you could enjoy the food, and you can have beautiful music playing or maybe beautiful flowers to look at and just actually enjoy your food.
I think it's great. I mean, I love the intention as well of the two placemats. You know, you're setting it for the future person. That's really cool. I know you used to do that with coffee.
For you.
For me, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't for you first. It was just for the person who was going to be you. But then you took the coffee. So, you know. Anyways, what did you love?
Well, actually, I wanted to just comment. She said a couple things about how we were trained with food that I didn't see in my notes. So the idea that when we were kids, if we were causing chaos, maybe our parents were like, here, eat a fruit roll up and shut up. Or, hey, you did a great job. For example, my parents, when we scored a goal in the soccer game, we went and bought Domino's pizza.
That's what everyone does.
Right.
That's the problem.
And well,
there's a reward for
that's the thing.
Everything.
Is like for our parents, what it was we don't go out to eat. We will go out to eat when you score a goal. But what's also happening there is food is becoming the reward, even though that wasn't actually the intention.
Yeah.
The intention was we're going to splurge and we'll splurge
and also
when you score a goal.
That's the same thing. Like you have a bad day at school and someone said something, you're bullied you, and then the parents, let's go get ice cream, instead of feeling the feelings of what it's like to have been bullied at school.
Yeah, or celebrating a moment such as scoring a goal. But it made me wonder, this is the first time I ever thought about that. It made me wonder, has that affected my eating habits? I do think it is real, the clean your plate club situation that she talked about. That blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I don't know why my parents said there are starving kids in Africa. I didn't know why until that podcast when she said, we used to ship the food to Africa in the 80s.
Right.
I was like, what? We did?
My parents did the same thing, and we did ship it. We didn't ship the food that was on your table, though.
Right.
But it caused me to feel like I have to eat everything on the plate, and now you don't. I mean, don't be wasteful.
But the idea was, because we were intentionally shipping food around to share the food with the world, we should be eating all of ours. And, it was just an interesting idea. It comes from the World War I and World War II. The Clean Your Plate Club, and they literally rationed food in the United States. And so that was a thing. And it's funny. To me, it's like the leftover hoarding is like a big thing from the Great Depression, because people wanted for everything. They had nothing. And so and
you might need it. So you would never get rid of it because you might not be able to get it. Yeah. And I do think that some of these things have been passed down without us knowing why. And here's the deal. Obviously, don't be wasteful with food, but also you start to learn we don't need to make that much food.
I've got to eat everything on my plate.
Yeah.
Fascinating that this is like a generational, passed on generational thing. And today, the meaning of it is completely disconnected with the intention of it originally. And so now it's just clean your plate because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so we get into this habit of eating that isn't necessarily healthy from either a mental or a physical perspective.
It's not helpful, whether it's healthy or not, because maybe you're
it could be healthy if you're doing small portion sizes, but because in the United States, portion sizes are so huge.
I know.
It might not be healthy.
I was thinking about our dinner in Singapore, and we were like, oh, these like Vegas prices for this meal. When the food came out, I was like, this is not a Vegas plate.
No.
So Vegas prices, but we got like a third.
Smaller portions. I mean, but
it was also enough.
Yeah.
It was also enough. So I think that that's really true. All of this is not to say like what's healthy, what's not healthy. It's like, are you actually connecting to the food that you're eating? And do you know why you eat the way that you eat? I think these are really interesting questions to ask yourself, because if it is getting in the way from you having the life you want to live, or it's becoming a crutch of some kind, it's worth evaluating.
Yeah. I mean, the why. It's the why are you eating? And, she said it could be because you're bored or sad or frustrated or happy, celebrating. She highlighted that for many, it's not about weight loss, but it's about feeling like they're the ones making the decision.
Yeah.
And not the food making the decision for them. I think we need to put that in context. It's about feeling like they're the ones making the decisions. So probably like, I'm deciding to eat now. It's not that the food is making decisions for them, but it's just about control.
The habits that we create for ourselves, there's no such thing as a good or a bad habit. There's also no good or bad foods, right? There's just is how you are eating and how is that affecting your life in the way that makes you available to do the things you want to do. And so if you are someone who like literally is craving sugar and it's distracting you from the things you want to do, so much that you actually are like going out and hunting for sugar, which is like an actual thing because it's an actual food addiction, because your gut starts to crave sugar and it tells you this and you cannot stop thinking about it. And so then you can't actually write the email to the person you want to pitch an idea to because you're like, I just need to get that. Well, that's affecting your life negatively.
Yeah.
When these things can be a distraction from what makes us have the energy to want to work out, our gut literally tells us a lot. Like our gut microbiome tells us a lot, and what you eat trains your microbiome. So it's a whole other thing. I just thought it was really cool.
Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about those be it action items, and we're going to dig into the hunger scale, which is pretty cool. All right, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Lisa Salisbury? She mentioned she teaches the hunger scale to her clients, and it goes from -10 all the way to +10. And she said -10 is like starving yourself. +10 is gorging, where you're very, very full. -10, very, very hungry, all the way to very, very full. And she said they're equal distance from 0, which is neutral.
Which
right?
I loved. I loved a neutral. Instead of it being like a 1 to a 10 or a 0 to a 10 and
Right.
5 is the place to be. I love that she was like, no, I'm going to make this as a neutral.
Yeah. And she said -10 and +10 are equally uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right? Well, first off, the purpose of it is to build awareness of your hunger and your fullness level throughout the day, right? So she actually charts it. She tells her clients, especially if you've been measuring your macros and you're used to tracking all this stuff and weighing things and whatever, instead of tracking all that stuff, track your fullness level. And here's how to do it. Before each meal, pause to assess your hunger on this scale. She says, start eating when you're feeling like a -3. Right? When you're just mildly hungry, that's the nicest time to start eating. Stop eating when you're at a +3, which she describes as you're not really feeling any pressure. You're not wishing you had stretchy pants. You're just comfortable. And she mentioned there's a moment when the body takes a pause. And it's this organic thing where you're like, I'm starting to feel satiated, right? She said, avoid eating when you're overly hungry, -7 or below, or if you're too full, +7 or above. And, obviously to avoid eating at -7, that means you have to have eaten sooner. If you're at a -7, you probably should be eating.
But maybe like have a little snack before you like sit down for a full meal.
I found that interesting too. She had a whole comment on that. She said, why are we snacking? If we're hungry, we should eat a meal.
Well, that is actually also interesting. I agree. I have a friend who has a bunch of kids, and she and her husband, they make meals for the family, right? And so one of her kids came home from school and was like, hey, I'm hungry. Can I have this to eat? And she said, dinner is at 6. If you think that that's going to hold you over till 6, then yes. But if you think that you're going to be hungry between that and 6, then I want you to think about what would make you satiated till 6.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, this isn't going to be enough. And they actually like made half a sandwich so that they were enjoying it. So anyways, I thought that was a cool way of looking at what are you snacking on?
Yeah.
Do you need a snack or do you really need to eat? So my biggest takeaway, she advised on eating the amount that's right for your body, paying no attention to food scales, paying no attention to the scale in your kitchen. You can do this by just experimenting with bites. And she talked about the 2-bite challenge. So we have another challenge for you. Yeah. Leave 2 bites at your plate at every meal and see how you feel looking at that food on your plate. Reflect on the experience. Do you feel satisfied or still hungry? Experiment and check in with your hunger afterwards. Remember that this isn't about wasting food forever. It's about learning what you need and putting yourself in charge of your portions. And I think this is also just really cool because we all need different things at different times in our life. So how you ate at 20 is going to be different than what you need at 30. It's going to be different what you need at 40. It's going to be different during a crazy work schedule versus summertime, vacation time. So I think it's just about connecting with your body and noticing, am I hungry? Really? Am I just bored? There's 2 bites left on my plate. Am I full or am I hungry? Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, I'm not giving myself the portion sizes that I needed so that I would not be a -7 when I wake up. So it's all just important information for you so that you're not distracted by your tummy when you're trying to make things happen in this world. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this is really amazing. I hope this got you thinking about you and what you're eating and how you eat it, and enjoy. And if you have questions about it, feel free to let us know. If you want to send this to a friend, that would be amazing. We're working really hard on going from a 1.5% podcast to a 1% podcast. We can only do that if you download it. So share this with a friend. And until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.